Every time her baby boy tried to crawl, his twin sister slammed his head flat to the floor. The parents thought it was jealousy, even planned to send her away. But on the road, the boy suddenly stopped breathing, forcing them to the hospital. What doctors revealed left them in tears. She wasn't hurting him. She was saving his life. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments what time is it and where are you watching from. Let's start. The boy's palms slapped the soft carpet, tiny knees shuffling forward, his blue shirt stretched as he grunted, face red with effort. He wanted to crawl. He needed to crawl. But before he could move an inch, his sister lunged in her plain white onesie, the pink headband tilting over her forehead. She pressed her little hand against his bald head and shoved. His face smacked into the carpet. A muffled cry broke out. He flailed, legs kicking uselessly again. Angela's voice cracked as she dropped the laundry basket, rushing over. No, no, no. Eli, baby, lift your head. Marcus, leaning back on the sofa, chuckled without looking up from his phone. Relax, she's just being bossy. That's how girls are bossy. Angela snapped, scooping the crying boy into her arms. She pushed him down. Marcus, his face was buried in the rug. What if he couldn't breathe? Marcus finally looked, smirk tugging at his lips. He's fine. You spoil them too much. Let them figure it out. Angela clutched her son tighter, tears stinging. Spoil them? He's a baby, Marcus. He's not a toy for her to slam into the ground. The little girl sat calmly, staring at them with wide brown eyes, hands still hovering as if ready to strike again. That was only the morning. By lunch, it happened again. The boy wobbled on his belly near the playmate, trying so desperately to crawl toward the dangling toy. His sister rolled closer, eyes fixed on him. The second his chest lifted, she slammed her palm down on his head. Stop it, Angela shrieked, yanking her daughter back. Why do you keep doing this? The boy screamed louder, frustrated wails that made Angela's nerves fray. Marcus appeared from the kitchen doorway, wiping his hands. For God's sake, Angie, calm down. They're bobbies. They don't know what they're doing. You think this is normal? Angela's voice shook with fury. She does it every single time. He tries to crawl. She knocks him down every time. So maybe she's jealous. Marcus snapped, rolling his eyes. Ever think of that? Maybe you cuddle him more, maybe she sees it. Angela's jaw dropped. You're blaming me now. He's not even safe to crawl in his own home because she keeps pressing him into the floor. And you think it's my fault? Yeah, Marcus shot back coldly. Because you treat her like the angel and him like the fragile one. You made this dynamic, her chest heaved. If something happens to him, Marcus, it's on you. You don't care. You sit there laughing while I'm terrified he's going to choke. The boy's cries rose higher, filling the room. The girl sat silent, eyes locked on him, almost deliberate. Angela shivered at the calmness in her face. Night brought no relief. The twins lay on a soft blanket by the bed. The boy, exhausted from the day's failures, tried once more. He pressed his palms, lifted his belly, leaned forward, hope flickering in his wet eyes. Angela smiled weakly. Yes, baby, come on, you can. But the girl was faster. She darted across the blanket and shoved her palm into his head with shocking force. His body collapsed. His face slammed flat. This time, his cry didn't come. Eli! Angela screamed, diving forward, clawing at the floor to pull him up. Her heart thundered, vision blurring. Eli, breathe, baby, please. Marcus rushed in, finally pale, finally scared. What the hell, Angela, get him up. Angela lifted the boy, shaking, pressing her ear to his tiny lips. A faint gasp escaped him. Then another. Relief slammed through her chest, but the terror remained. She turned on her daughter, voice breaking with rage. Why do you keep doing this to him? The girl only blinked, hand still stretched toward her brother's head as if it belonged there. Calm, silent, almost knowing. Angela sobbed, clutching the boy tight, rocking back and forth. Marcus, I can't take this anymore. Every day it's not jealousy. It's not games. Something's wrong. I know it. She won't let him crawl. She won't let him live. Marcus stood frozen, torn between anger and denial. Fists clenched. She's just a baby. Angela, don't make this into something it isn't. But Angela's tears streamed down her face as she stared at her daughter at those steady, unblinking eyes. They didn't look like a jealous toddler's eyes. They looked deliberate, watchful. By midnight, Angela had made her decision. She told Marcus through clenched teeth, her voice trembling from exhaustion and rage. I can't take this anymore. Tomorrow I'm sending her to Mom's house for a few days. Maybe she needs space. Maybe she needs discipline, something, because I swear, Marcus, if she pushes him one more time. Marcus rubbed his face, torn between agreement and guilt. Maybe that's for the best. She's out of control. Maybe your mom can break her of it. Angela looked at her daughter on the playmat, sitting quiet as if she knew she was being discussed. Angela's chest tightened. She's not out of control. She's too controlled, and that terrifies me. The next morning, Angela strapped both Bobbies into their car seats. She planned to drop her daughter at her mother's house before taking Eli to a routine check. Marcus kissed them goodbye, muttering that maybe things would calm down now. But halfway down the road, Angela heard it, a strange rattling from the back seat. At first, she thought it was a toy, but then she glanced in the mirror. Eli's face was red, his tiny chest pumping desperately. His little mouth opened, gasping, but no air seemed to come. Eli. Angela swerved to the side of the road, heart slamming. She yanked open the back door, fumbling with the straps. The girl sat silently, eyes locked on her brother as if she had seen this before. Angela's hands shook as she pulled him free, patting his back, begging, "Breathe, baby, please. Oh, God. No, no, no." His head lolled against her shoulder, his breath shallow, uneven. Angela didn't think. She tore back into the driver's seat and sped to the hospital, horns blaring, tears flooding her face. The girl never cried. She just stared at her brother, wide-eyed hand reaching toward him, even in the car seat. In the emergency room, chaos exploded. Doctors rushed Eli into a cubicle, nurses shouting codes Angela couldn't process. She collapsed against the wall, sobbing, whispering, "It's my fault. I should have known. I should have listened to her." Marcus arrived minutes later, panic written all over his face. "What happened?" Angela couldn't form the words. He couldn't breathe." She tried to stop him, Marcus. All along she tried to stop him. 2 hours later, a doctor finally approached. Oh, his expression was serious but soft. "Mr. and Mrs. Reed, we've stabilized him, but we found the cause of his distress. Your son has a structural defect in his chest. When he tries to lift himself to crawl, his airway narrows. That's why he struggles to breathe in that position." Angela's knees buckled. Marcus caught her eyes wide in disbelief. "You mean every time he tried to crawl, he was suffocating?" the doctor finished. "And someone must have noticed. If he hadn't been forced flat, things could have gone very differently. His sister might have saved his life more times than you realize." Angela covered her mouth, sobbing uncontrollably. All those nights, all that screaming, the arguments, the fear. She had been ready to ship her baby girl away, thinking she was cruel. But the truth was unbearable. The little girl had known before anyone else. Marcus whispered hoarsely, guilt dripping from his voice. "We blamed her. We yelled. We almost, God, Angela, we almost punished her for protecting him." Hours later, when Eli was stable and resting in a crib beside the hospital bed, Angela placed her daughter on the chair. The girl didn't smile, didn't laugh. She simply crawled over, lifted her hand, and pressed it gently against her brother's head, just as she always had. This time, Angela didn't pull her away. She cried instead, holding Marcus's hand tightly. She knew. Angela whispered through tears. All this time, she knew before any of us. She wasn't hurting him, she was saving him. The hospital room went quiet except for the steady sound of Eli's breathing. The boy slept peacefully, his sister's small hand resting on his crown like a guardian. Angela lowered her head into Marcus's shoulder, broken but relieved. She's his protector, his twin, his lifeline. We almost tore her away when she was the only one keeping him alive. And for the first time in days, Angela let the tears fall freely, not of fear, but of gratitude. This story shook us. But what about you? Drop your thoughts below and don't leave without hitting like, subscribe, and comment to keep more powerful stories like this alive.